Hey, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's buddy to Gawd. Camera pending. It's Friday, January 30th, 2026. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you coming on through this morning. Let's get it fired up. Fired up, man. First Sky Omaha. In the morning. Money. Once again, thank you for joining us on this Friday, the 30th. Man, can't believe it's already the end of January.
Man.
Whew, man, fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Happening right now. We appreciate you guys joining us. I see Sean McCarthy in the chat saying good morning, happy Friday. Everyone, appreciate that. Pops in the chat, good Friday morning, and mad love from Las Vegas. And Kimra, first up, saying good morning. Really appreciate you guys getting up early this morning with us. And yeah, please do us a favor, share the show. It's gonna be a fun show today. It is Friday, so we kind of like to do a little bit of talk a little bit about some art soldiering, and some things like that. But of course, we got plenty of other things that we're gonna talk about today. And as you can see, we got a little bit of technical difficulties going on right now. So as soon as Buddy's camera is working, he'll pop back in with us. In the meantime, between time, let us know how you're doing this morning. Besides the camera, how you doing over there, buddy?
I'm a little flustered.
A little frustrated.
Yeah, you try to set things up, you test out, you turn on, and nothing is how you left it. So. But we're here. Definitely looking forward to today's conversation. Looking forward to today's guest partnerships brewing. Definitely excited about what's coming out of that. A lot of things to talk about today. So always a pleasure to speak with the fam. Get with everybody out here. Yeah, other than that, I'm feeling good, feeling rested. How are you?
I'm feeling okay. Yeah, not too bad. I'm glad it's Friday. I definitely feel like it's been a long week. I didn't mean that last word is wrong. A long week. So I'm definitely looking forward to kind of stretching my legs a little bit. I've been trying to get up and do more outside stuff on the weekends because I'm sitting here in front of this computer like so much all week long. So. And it works out because come weekend, there's plenty to do when it comes to cleaning, maintenance, car maintenance, hanging out with friends, family, living alive with one another, all that stuff. So it's going down. Appreciate you guys coming on in this morning. I see Judy Prinzer with the happy Friday. She's ready. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that. Marlon Harrison says, good morning, First Sky family, and happy TGIF to everyone. Right on. PA Blog 1711. National Blackout Strike Day. Yep, that's happening right now. As a matter of fact, it kind of started off in Minneapolis and went national. There's a lot of people that are shutting down right now. So yeah, just reminding everybody that that's happening. If you try to go somewhere and do something, it might be closed. There's a few businesses in Omaha that said they were going to follow suit on this as well. That kind of put some word out, and I suspect a whole lot more than we even know about is participating in this too. So. This is going down. Ariel's 402 says, find a yoga class. May need to turn that old DVD on and do some yoga at home today. The yoga classes might be shut down. Who knows? We'll see. Are you planning on participating in the National Blackout Day? We talked about it on Wednesday. My theory is that I don't know how much you can get done in a day, but that's not going to stop me from participating because sometimes it's about the solidarity of the moment. And then, it might spark some new action and some more intense action later. So we'll see how it works out. How about you, buddy? You plan on participating in the blackout today?
It'd be nice not to be able to spend any money, or not to have to spend any money.
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. And let's be realistic. I'm kind of already failed on it. Like my kids went to school this morning. If the full general strike is not just financial, it is a shutdown of society. There's a call for no schools, no work, no shopping.
True that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to spend any money. Yeah, my kids already went to school already. I'll go out. I might need some gas at some point today because I have things to do. So it's, again, kind of hard not to.
Kind of hard. General consensus. I was wondering if anybody in the chat has kept their kids home from school for the strike. I'm sure there's a lot of folks in Minneapolis doing it. I don't know how far out, this way that it's happening, but who knows? Let us know if you are participating, how hard it is for you to participate in that as well. So yeah, I was thinking about today too. I was definitely thinking there's going to be a little bit tough with some of the things I got to do, and plus, it's not like I can just not go to work. So, when you're running your own company, you kind of have to. I still got to run the company. I can't like not go to work or not do the things I got to do. But it will be limited today, depending on like who is out there participating, because I do have to interact with other businesses and other offices and stuff like that. So we'll see. We will absolutely see. Sean McCarthy says, Fetus, is it Felius Coffee House is closed in solidarity, 50th and Dodge. Okay. Yeah, we're naming a few places that are closed. Ariel's 402 says, I'm going to work, but I ain't going to do nothing. Just going to work. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. Appreciate that very much. Also, Leia Keister's in the chat with the yippee skippies. I think it's my turn. Happy Friday, yip, yo, yay, yo, 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 yay, yay, yip, yip, yippee, yo, yay.
Okay.
I think I put an extra yip in there, but who doesn't need an extra yip from time to time? You know what I'm saying? Just saying. She says, sorry for my tardiness. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Appreciate you this morning. RG gives us a morning, y'all. What's happening? What's happening? Appreciate you guys coming in this morning. Once again, if you're just joining us, technical difficulties on Buddy's side right now. He's working that out, work it out as we go. He worked himself all the way out there, so he'll be back in a second here to get it rolling. But yeah, in the meantime, between time, yep. Appreciate you guys coming in. Lots to talk about today. Of course, we have a special guest that we're anticipating from our new partners over at Film Streams. Amanda Kephart's coming through, and we'll talk about a few things. Man, it's really kind of our speed for us to partner with Film Streams, because we do we're in this industry, and we'll be hosting some things like films and talkbacks and stuff like that, and using Film Streams as that space for that. They're kind of been the third space type of situation where they are bringing the community together to have some important conversations. So I want to shout them out for doing that good work, and we'll talk to her about that. Also, she was the one that interviewed Spike Lee when he came to town over at the Holland. So I can't wait to talk to her about that experience as well. So get your questions together. Yes, this is a Love Supreme Friday. We'll definitely be jumping into some things that have to do with some art soldiering today as well, because it is Friday, so we want to kind of not just keep it light, but be aware of what's going on, but also just remember what we're fighting for in the first place, to be artists, to do art, to be humans, to be alive. So that's what it is. Kimmer says at the school board meeting on Monday, they will be going over the gifted and talented student report. Just FYI, and I ain't heard that term in a while. They still have that program going on, the gifted and talented students. I always kind of thought of it as a way they were kind of separating students out from other students, but I guess a lot of people have benefited from those programs too. So that's interesting. They'll be talking about it. I'd love to hear more about that. She also says the Union for Contemporary Art Display Black Women in Education display starts today. Nice. Thanks for that memo. I did not see that yet. I was gathering together some haps and some of the community updates and stuff like that, and didn't see that. So thanks for letting me know about that. I'll definitely look into it as well. While we're waiting on Buddy to get back, I will go into some of the community updates that we got going on. There's a lot of things happening. As a matter of fact, first and foremost, like I said, we have our guest Amanda Kephart that's going to join us a little bit later on in the show. So stay tuned for that. We'll be talking all things Film Streams and then some. Also, don't forget to be checking us out. We did the book drop takeover. The book drop is the podcast for the Omaha Public Library. We did the takeover just recently, so be looking for that at the beginning of February, which is coming up in a few days here. So, yeah, it's for Black History Month. Our recommendations, some of the things that you can get from the library, and also get from the library's movie channel, which is called the Canopy channel, which I've been watching more than Netflix even these days. So shout out to the Omaha Public Library for all of that. Okay, looks like Buddy's back. Buddy back. Oh, there he is.
Hey, can you hear me? How's it? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Check. Can you see me?
I can hear you. I can see you. Only thing I can't do is shake your hand right now. Appreciate you. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
Be checking, man. I didn't do anything different. So
Tech be
hey,
checking on a Friday. It's all good, but he's back. Appreciate your patience on that. We're just going through a few of these things that are happening during the week here. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
thanks
want
for
to jump
holding it
on
down.
that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
y'all check out that book drop. That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, book drop was dope. Beyond the stigma, our fellas that get together and have some good discussion with each other. That's happening on January 31st from 3 to 5 at Assembly of the Saints. So definitely show up to that if you are interested in doing that. But also, man, get with Johnny No Good, and drop him a couple bucks, man. Help him keep this up and rolling. This is definitely a good cause right here. It's always a good thing to have men of all ages get together and really talk about the things that are bothering them and try to, help each other out in that way. So yeah, it's we're really behind the stigma event here in a big way. Definitely check this out. And shout out to Assembly of the Saints for hosting it all the time too, man. They got good stuff going over there. Squad for sure. Also, coming up on First Fridays in the Village. Of course, we talk about First Fridays every month because of our partnership with BFF. First Friday over in Benson is what goes down all the time every month. But now they're firing up First Fridays in the Village again at 24th and Lake. This is happening on February 6th from 5:30 to 9:30. It's going to be food, art exhibits, all kinds of stuff, music. So much stuff going on here. It's going to be super cool. So definitely get ready to check this out. We'll put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha. You can hit that QR code. There is a cover fee for you to go check it out, but you'll be able to support all of the artists that are going to be performing with that cover fee. So definitely check that out. And speaking of BFF, it's also happening over in Benson. Of course, January 1st Friday is going down in the Benson Creative District. There's always some good things to do over there, good places to eat over there, good things to see. Highly suggest you go to the BFF website and check out some of the exhibits. They kind of lay out some of the things that you can do there, and you might see something that catches your eye. You might want to go check out. So yeah, a few things happening like that around here that you definitely ought to check out. We appreciate you guys submitting the stuff that you have in Friends of First Sky Omaha, because that informs us about what's going on too. Thank you. Yep. Also, I see Wanda Lewis in the chat saying good morning to you. Appreciate that. And this one right here, Kimber, I'm so glad you let us know about this. The Union for Contemporary Art display Black Women in Education display starts today. Wow,
Okay.
I didn't know that was coming. That's gonna be something else.
Yeah, okay. My grandmother was in education. She was a secretary at my middle school.
Yeah, my family started a private school in California. So we've been in education for a long time. So I appreciate that big time, man. It's 7:13 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we do have some things to talk about. So I want to throw it over to Buddy if you're ready. You ready?
Yes, sir. Time. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think we got the irons, the wrinkles ironed out.
Okay, all right.
I think. We'll see. So far. Yeah, so far. But we're here. We're here for the next 2 hours. So definitely join the conversation. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. As Paul mentioned, we got a couple things to dive into. This season is following the money. As you see the green, seeing green. And it seems like a few people are seeing green. We'll see. Let's talk about how we feel about it. A few people chiming up about the Dundee development. Tiff Alley continues to grow. And this time now the Family Fair, if you're familiar with this Family Fair on Saddle Creek, now turning into luxury apartments. Definitely continuing to follow the money and kind of continuing our spaces and places conversation as well. It's all melting together. So definitely wanted to dive into that. And also shout out to our partners at Flatwater Free Press, following the money on a mentorship program or fund, if you will call it, that went to one organization. It's very interesting. A little nepotism. Again, seems like all of the Pillin friends getting a little coin. So we'll talk about that. Also, speaking of friends, a friend of First Sky going down to Minnesota. Shout out to Paul Philman, as we like to call him, White Paul around here. Going to the front lines, man. Again, a lot of friends on the front line. Shout out to all that are out there. I believe Sister Sarah says she's out there. Brother Anthony Rogers Wright is out there as well. And now Brother Paul. But I definitely want to talk about what they might be encountering. I don't know if y'all heard about this news being reported by CBS about this LRAD that was used. And yeah, we got to talk about what that is and who used it. It's very interesting. Again, been hearing a lot of people, calling for the help of local and state officials to combat ICE and to help, keep ICE at bay. But let's see whose side they're on, really. We'll talk about that. And also getting into a little artistic resistance. Shout out to my man Sky Ree, friend of First Sky for sure. Getting a write up in the Reader. Shout out to them also doing work, man. Rest in peace to John Heaston. And of course, definitely getting into some more humanities, artistic resistance throughout the show. Of course, we have our guests from Film Streams coming through. Want to talk about that, some of the projects and films they have coming up. And of course, more to get into in the second hour. So as always, we're here. We're locked in. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo. Yeah, bear with us. We got some technical difficulties. I know that we got a little sound issue happening, so stay tuned. We're going to work through that as we go, as we normally do. Let us know how we're sounding, how we're looking. I know that you, the chat chimers, are also our tech guys as well, so let us know. We lost the camera. All right, we'll be pushing through this, so I appreciate that. Kimber says, I had started a Facebook post asking people to name their favorite black women educators in Omaha. I missed that post, man. Yeah, that's a super interesting one to me too. So I appreciate you coming through with that. I will definitely talk about it. All right, and we're off to this. We're off to a start. I don't know if it's a great start. We got tech issues going on, but we're gonna move on, push on, continue on, and make this happen today. So we appreciate you guys being here. Do us a favor, share the show. If you're on Facebook, share the show on your page. It's pretty easy to do there. And if you're on YouTube, then do us a favor and share the link. Send it to somebody who you think might want to jump into the conversation and be a part of this conversation here. We got lots to talk about today. We'll take a quick break and see if we can try to get a few things handled here, and then we'll come back and get into it. We appreciate you guys joining us. It's First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I was going to do it for you. Stay tuned, y'all. We'll be right back.
That they, the establishment, intend to play the role that Germans play. We have to show them by our actions that we do not intend to play the role that the Jews play.
Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Buddy, the guy having some problems over there. We'll let him work that out as we go. But again, we appreciate you guys getting up early this morning with us and making this happen. It is Friday, the 30th of January. Check. You there?
You can hear me.
I can't hear you. Yeah. Yep. Can't hear you. Can't see you, but we can hear you. Mama God said, good morning. I think FB is messing with y'all. My alerts and some more stuff has been acting up this season on FB on Facebook. Wouldn't doubt it. We're always looking at what problems are coming through when it comes to Meta in general. Facebook and Instagram has been giving us some issues. It's partly our fault too. We've been going back and forth between a couple different programs trying to get everything done we need to here, and one of the programs messes with alerts. So it's a part of that is our fault. It was our fault too, but we'll keep on pushing and making sure that we get a hold of you guys. As a matter of fact, the conversation that we've been talking about here this past probably a couple of weeks now about communication is really kind of heating up. Every day I'm finding out more stuff about what's happening with the social media channels. how they're trying to target certain things if you use certain words. All the things that's going on is really kind of making it so that we have to be diligent every day in looking at places where we can communicate, how we can communicate and get around certain things. So want to kind of put it out there to you, especially the chat chimers, ghost listeners. Where else do you get your news? How else do you communicate? Are you signed up to newsletters and other things where you get texts? Does a text to your phone? Is that something that you would rather see? I know a lot of people come in and out of the social media channels all the time. Sometimes we see our numbers of people and people that usually come in and chime into the chat. Sometimes they go away because they're just getting off that particular social media channel. So are you guys on other alternative channels like Twitch or any of those kinds of Discords or any of those kinds of things? Where do you get your information from, and how do you communicate with each other about that information? And we want that to be a constant conversation so we can continue to try to meet you where you're at when it comes to this stuff. I'm surprised that we've been on Facebook this long, to be honest. We've tried to get off of Meta a few times, but there's so many of our audience that is on Facebook. It's hard for us to come off of it. So, and the purpose of this is to be able to communicate. So kind of doesn't matter where, we just have to make sure that we can keep it up, continue on with it. So that is what it is. We'll keep doing that. RG in the chat says, "Hey man, watching OJ, it made in America in 2026 hits way different than it did when it came in 2016." Really?
In what way? I'm curious.
Yeah. Let us know how. Definitely have to have a conversation about that one. Yeah, that's crazy. In the meantime, before we get to our guests, we're going to jump into a few subjects here. We got Buddy. No camera today, but it looks like we have you on. We can hear you. So
can you?
Yeah. Are you still working that out? Or are you ready?
I don't know. Can you hear me? It's like it works and then it doesn't. Yeah. I'm not touching or changing anything. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, well, it's working now. If you want to jump into something.
Okay, well, let's try to do the thing. Again, following the money this season, starting with a little Tiff Alley. Yeah. Again, this from WWT. A developer plans to replace the aging Midtown Plaza shopping center at 46 in California with a luxury apartments, about 67,000 square feet of retail space. 223 units, but neighbors, of course, are questioning whether taxpayers should contribute $9 million to a project with no affordable housing. Again, Tiff Alley, as we like to call it, is rearing its ugly head yet again, this time in the form of this Saddle Creek Marketplace, $110 million development, which will tower over the Dundee neighborhood. If you're not familiar with the areas, right on Saddle Creek, right now is a family fair in that area. But again, that will soon be coming down and being replaced by luxury apartments. At the first meeting, there was conversations about whether the units were going to be affordable, and their indication was that that was not part of their plan. The development faces, of course, questions about grocery store access after Family Fair's departure would leave the nearest store 2 miles away with no bus service. Excuse me. And with Family Fair leaving, we want to make sure that there's another food source that comes in here. As I understand, that is something that's being worked on. But obviously, there's nobody able to promise or guarantee anything right now. That's according to Livingston, who's with the developer, developer Mitch Holland, who previously built the Artisan on 39th in Farnham. Studios at the property start at $1,100 for a 2-bed, or studios start at $1,100. 2-bedrooms start at $2,400 a month. Also, the developer said that they planned on Saddle Creek Marketplace will be similar. So, again, more luxury apartments. I'm not sure if you're getting all that. How we sounding?
Yeah, you got it all. We can hear you. Just a little bit flabbergasted at that. I'm thinking about. I was just thinking about Pops. I'm thinking, Pops, listen, you hear that? That's $2,400 for a 2-bedroom in Omaha, Nebraska. We might as well be in back in LA somewhere for them kind of prices. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild to me that they keep on building these things, and this is how it starts. $1,100 for a studio. I mean, what? Think about what the rents are in Atlanta. $2,400 for a 2-bedroom. Does that sound like at heart of the city Atlanta prices?
Yeah, downtown Atlanta.
right
Yeah.
downtown. So
Right.
major city money is what they want around Saddle Creek.
Man. And we're gonna definitely have to keep talking about it. Maybe even bring back brother De Jour, the realtor we spoke to earlier this season. And I've had a few conversations about with some chat chimers about those properties again that they developed. Willis Place, I think it was called. And those are about what 250,000 for a new build for those houses.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, and that's to purchase those houses. And even though that's as far as comparative on the market, that's still pretty affordable or at least pretty low. Still kind of high when you think about some of the things. Again, the home, what was it? 2-bed, 2-bath home that I grew up in. My parents bought that for $36,000. Again, the homes, man. Yeah, the pricing is getting a little out of control.
Different time, different place for sure, though.
And as far as
just pricing, this housing, because I got some family members that are actively looking at housing right now. If you're going to buy a house, 250 is about right. Is about what it is. It's right this minute. Yeah, now. Yeah. Even when I got here, what was it, 15 years ago, there was some of them $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 properties was within range that are now 200, 210. That's just what it is. So that's part of it. And I really kind of understanding that, those particular ones, the Willis Courts or whatever they were called, those particular ones are right next to downtown and independent homes to buy. So, and like I said, it's the price range. But a lot of people, I think the problem too is that you're displacing. There's no displacement with those particular ones, but a lot of them that they're building is displacing people. How do you move back into that area if you're priced out of that area? I mean, those are all things kind of worry about when you're looking at doing development. Development is real touchy right now around here. Yeah. Real touchy.
A lot of moving parts.
Tamara Dwyer in the chat. Good morning. Homeless coordinator in the mayor's office. She says, but that price range is outrageous for that area. Exactly. Pricing the current residents out. Very true. Very true. These houses were built new, so they didn't really displace anybody in the Willis Courts and those particular ones. But most of the stuff is, you're absolutely right. Most of the development that's happened is tearing something down and then building something up and displacing those folks. And it's just unaffordable right now in general. So that's what's up. She says there used to be there's a Walmart just a couple of blocks from Fair, isn't there?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's a little grocery store there. I think maybe people are really kind of more just upset that there's gonna be some luxury apartments right there. What I don't see luxury apartments. What are they gonna do to Saddle Creek if they put in luxury apartments right?
I think we all know. Yeah. And the fact that TIF dollars are being used for this, and there's no affordable housing. I think that's kind of really the heart of the article. Is the fact that TIF dollars, 9 million in TIF dollars are being used for these luxury apartments that by all means is most likely going to gentrify the area, and not in a good way. Also, I think there is a Walmart, like it's not a full Walmart supercenter. It's like the Walmart marketplace, like the grocery thing. And I think I'm not quite sure how close that is. Like when you think about food deserts and walkability, and you know what I mean, like how for residents who rely on that family fare that's being replaced, what does that mean for their access to not only food but a pharmacy, things like that?
It's walkable. It's walkable from family fare. If you can walk to family fare, you can walk to that Walmart.
Okay.
Groceries. It's not. Yeah, it's not. I don't think that better not be the argument that they took the family fare away and now there's a food desert happening. That's not it. I think they're more mad about these luxury apartments that are going in.
Yep, and the lack of affordability.
Wanda Lewis in the chat says starting at $1,100 monthly for apartments, the store generates more than that hourly. This is true. I think the store is closed now though, so I don't know. But yes, that's an interesting way to look at that. Sean McCarthy says according to Gemini AI, for $2,400 a month, assuming you would have a student loan and a $450 a month car payment, you would need at minimum $96,000 a year salary. Yeah, that's what we've been looking at in order to do anything right now. We actually came up with $120 a year that you need to be able to have some insurance, put some money away for savings, 401k, pay for a house, car, everything else that you need. You kind of started around between 90 and 120. So that's literally when they say affordability. What numbers are they looking at? How many people are making that kind of money in most of Omaha? In most of Omaha, not just in certain parts. Wanda Lewis says that's why you have to pay attention to who owns the land you build on. Yep, I can see that. She says also, Marlon Harrison says, let's also remember that Saddle Creek floods when it rains really hard. So that's what I was thinking too, Marlon. I was like, why are they building luxury apartments on Saddle Creek where they still haven't solved the flooding problem?
Man,
What are they going to do? That's when I was like, what are they going to do in that area that would garner some luxury apartments? It's interesting. She said, Wanda Lewis says, probably med students. True. We were just driving over there yesterday and was like, look at all this construction that, the medical facilities are doing around here. There's so much more is up.
there is something to that. I'm glad that's been brought up because we haven't really talked about it. I've been seeing the headlines, kind of reading into it a little bit. But this sale that's supposed to be going on, this $800 million or so sale of UNMC. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen these headlines that have been going on. But I am kind of curious about that area. Like now that we're talking about it, just that general area of Saddle Creek, I almost had a Freudian slip. I almost called it Buckhead because that's, if you're familiar with the Atlanta area, there's an area here that's called Buckhead that's basically like a whole nother downtown. Like it's completely gentrified. That's where Lenox Mall is. That's where you go to buy your Gucci. Like that's that kind of area. And as I'm thinking of development and where Saddle Creek is going, I'm kind of seeing that. I could see another strip of, some towers popping up along Saddle Creek, especially as the development grows. I'm not quite sure what the plan of that area is, but that's what it's looking like. Hyper modernization or not quite sure of the word, but it's very, very dense area in the next few years.
Interesting. Okay. This is kind of new to me. I have not looked at Saddle Creek area that way until you get down past Dodge, where all of that UNMC construction is happening and those apartments have popped up down there and all that. And then beyond past, not Dodge. Past on the other side of Dodge, and down towards Cummings, and there's all kinds of construction happening on that side too, with a lot of new businesses and new places to do business popping up around there. But up towards north, I'm not sure like how far up that plan goes. It'd be interesting to see like what's going on there for sure.
Definitely.
Also, RG is saying they're looking at Saddle Creek as the gateway to Dundee with that pricing. So you reminded me that's also how you get to the Dundee area. One way to get to the Dundee area is that Saddle Creek area as well. Very true. And also, I'm thinking about the situation with the houseless people that's right there around Cumming in Saddle Creek too. And there's been, there's always from what I hear, lots of politicians always calling people like, "Hey, you guys get them people out of there." And why is it? It's one thing that they're pushing back against people panhandling and stuff like that around there. But it's another thing when they are very specific about a specific area. It reminds me of when Mayor Stothard was really trying to get folks away from the Central Library downtown. That was, you don't hear them when they're chiming up, but when they chime up about stuff like that, sometimes it's like, why are you chiming up about that and not everything else going on? So it's just an interesting question. Tamara Dwyer in the chat is saying there's a lot of apartments in that area that are in terrible condition, and if there isn't equally affordable housing replaced, then it would be forcing people out of the area. Okay, yeah, not really familiar with a lot of those apartments, so thanks for that information there for sure.
My grandma used to like live in that area, like right off a lake, not too far from the Saddle Creek Northwest Radio area. And the more we talk about it, the more I think about it, and we might have to kind of pay attention. I'm also thinking back to like Paul, you had mentioned you've heard residents kind of refer to Benson as a bulwark of sorts. Right. I'm thinking of Saddle Creek as that same thing because think about the west side of Saddle Creek versus the east side of Saddle Creek. The east side of Saddle Creek is basically North Omaha. You got Lake 40s right there, Hamilton. you know, and right on the other side of Saddle Creek, it's a hop, skip, and jump from Dushin, Dundee.
That's true. That's true.
So as you know, communities move, as things, I'm thinking out loud and wondering in real time, but I am wondering, you know, what kind of pressures exist in that area as far as communities feeling like certain elements are creeping into their neighborhoods and maybe bleeding over on the other side of Saddle Creek. So it's a reality. It's a
It is a
reality.
reality. Those of you who don't remember what we were talking about with that bulwark comment, I've done a lot of work in Benson. I help Amy Ryan build the Benson Theater over there. And we've heard a lot of folks that are on the other side, you know, that are closer to the Dundee side, and that felt like that strip, like Maple, was the last strip before things started getting uncomfortable for them, and they made it a point to say, you know, this street is the bulwark. In other words, this is the borderline. Here's, you know, you guys got to hold the line here so we can keep things nice on our side and keep this side from coming over. That was kind of the sentiment there. So yeah, that makes sense what you're saying about that, because that is the kind of the line there, military, you know, around the Saddle Creek, and everything that's on that side. And, you know, across the street is the towers. Across the street is North Omaha. So, yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Okay.
Cameras, hey.
Hopefully we can keep the line.
Who's that man? What's that?
We'll see. Mama, who's that man?
Kimber Snipes in the chat. There are a ton of neighbors who submitted comments to the planning department, and the city clerk went back and forth with the neighborhood association about the comments not being attached. Not attached to the agenda, she says. I don't know why the planning department can't just share the comments with the city clerk.
I wonder what the comments were.
Right. All that time going back and forth, and all I had to do was just add it to the agenda was ridiculous. Yeah, I hear that. Wanda Lewis says 401k is off the table for many people. Everyday life is a struggle nowadays. For most people, it seems like that's the case. Sean McCarthy, and according to Zip Recruiter, you know, Brother McCarthy's on the job hunt, so he's in there hearing about this stuff all the time. It says the average salary of an Omaha resident is roughly $58,000, so a little far away from
96.
The 96 we said. Also, Wanda Lewis says they have been doing lots of construction in that area. They had all of this in their plans. Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking about too, is plans. I know there's got to be in city planning or somewhere, there got to be places where you can go and see what they are planning on doing in these areas. I remember looking at the North Omaha plan and see a lot of that. You know, about 10 years ago, I saw that. And a lot of it has come to fruition now. So sometimes it's out there for us to even, you know, to see what's happening and what's coming, and be able to call it there too. That's what's up. Tamara says they're calling me, not anyone else. I don't want to put you out there like that, but yeah, they're definitely calling Tamara. I was talking to her yesterday about us just making people understand like what her job is. Like she ain't out there policing folks. She's trying to help these people get a place to stay. So
Resources.
Interesting how some of these politicians will call and be like, "Get these people off the street." Wow. Right. Yeah, I can't wait to talk to you about it, buddy. It's an interesting thing. Wanda Lewis says it used to be that renovation was the going thing, and now it's about new development and TIF funding. TIF Valley. Pops, just as soon as you said Buddy's back, he's gone.
Yeah, that's call that the announcer jinx.
We're going to take a break here before we get back into the rest of the stories, and before we get to our special guest today. Kimmer says the comments were against the development, and to be fair, planning probably didn't even know about it being on the agenda. Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. Okay, so more information here. We appreciate you bringing some more information about this particular subject, and we'll figure out what we're gonna, what's gonna come of it. What's gonna come of it? I know I can't afford to move over to them apartments when they get built, so I don't know. We'll see.
Who they building it for?
Who are they building it for is the question. Earlier, Marlon Harrison said, we ain't got no NFL players and stuff in town. Who want to go to them apartments?
Man.
That's a good question. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Stay tuned, y'all. right there sounds like a something Sky Ree would get on.
Hey, I can hear Sky on that.
You hear that beat? You can hear his voice on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what's up. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy to God. He is over there. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm here.
Technical difficulties with the camera on this Friday, but hey, we're gonna push through anyway. Yeah, bear with us. We have special guests coming on pretty soon here, so stay tuned. We'll be talking to Amanda Kephart from Film Streams. Film Streams has become kind of the third space, places for a community to get together and watch a film, an important documentary or something, and then have a talk back afterward and have the community discuss things with some of the experts and the filmmakers. That's the things that we're interested in because that's kind of right up our alley. So we're excited about this partnership with Film Streams, highlighting some of those things, and hopefully we'll be doing some films and some talkbacks ourselves over in the space. So shout out to what Film Streams is doing. One of the dopest art house theaters in the country, as far as I'm concerned, and they got two of them. So one in North Downtown, and then one in Dundee, the places that we're talking about today, which is interesting. I appreciate you coming through. Stay tuned for our special guest. Also, Arrows 402 in the chat. He says, hit the like button. Please do that for us. Really appreciate it if you do that. Also, Kimmer says, I emailed the clerk and basically was like, what do y'all have to do to clean up communications in the background? Boy, when you find out, please let us know.
Man.
Please let us know. She says, and I told the neighborhood association, for the sake of time, just send the comments yourself so they can get they can get them on the agenda. That's a good idea. RG says, look, when they built those Brooklyn style row houses on North 24th, I was wondering then who's going to live there. Shout out to OEDC on that one. They were asking way too much when they first opened, and remember they sat there for like a decade too, man. With nobody jumping in those mugs.
I mean, is anybody in them now? I think
they look occupied now. Yeah.
Okay, I think I met like one person that lived in them at one point.
Also, Kimber says everybody at city council person that they can be calling, a mayor, a senator who can lean on them. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that in the second hour. There's a couple of things that we need to do to lean on our elected officials a little bit more than we have been in the past. So it's going to be one of our calls to action on a few things. So I appreciate you bringing that up, and we'll definitely talk about that too. Kimber also says, proud of the Neighborhood Association Gramercy Park for organizing. That's what's up.
Okay.
Starts with the association every time. Every time. Right on, man. We got about 2 minutes before our guest comes on in. So, buddy, did you want to set some things up and get busy first before we go?
Yeah. Again, Friday is kind of our Love Supreme Day.
Word.
I'd like to give some credence, some love to the arts. And we'll start off with one friend of First Sky. We just mentioned my man Sky Ree actually has a write-up in the Reader. So, again, man, friends of First Sky all the way around. Shout out to the Reader. Still getting down.
Yeah, when I saw the logo, I got happy.
Yeah, man. They still getting busy, man. So definitely check them out. Definitely coming out strong with this article about Sky Reed. If you don't know, Skylar Reed, Omaha native, artist in his own right, man. OEAA winner, with both, and now a artistic resistance warrior, if you will. Actually touching on several things that we talk about, and just the importance of humanities is what I'm setting up for. Is actually a call to action here a little later on, but the arts and specifically artistic resistance, and not just putting colors on canvas, but what it means, what's being expressed. In the article, Sky talks about his own battle, saying he shares the story to let others know it gets better, saying that you just have to find the right help. And I will say that for myself as a person who survived it, speaking of his mental health issues, and he says still trying to figure it out with a kid and a wife and a house and all that extra stuff. It does get better because I was at one point on my mama couch struggling. He says the mental health battle is always an uphill battle. It's always going to be something there, but just understand it's not you. Just got to be more vocal about it. People like to hide their stuff, and then somebody else is suffering while you're keeping silent that could be benefiting from your voice. Reed says he's still surprised when people buy or share his art, and added the Omaha community has been instrumental to his success. Although he is currently living in St. Louis, he says he maintains a deep tie to the city, saying, "This is my Omaha village. My cup is less full, and my puzzles will be incomplete if my community wasn't there with it." You know what I'm saying? They're the cup that continues to pour into me, and I appreciate them, and I try to give back what I can. They always lift me up. And definitely kind of the idea when you think about the humanities, the arts, the gift that keeps on giving, is kind of an old adage that, you know, if you want to learn a lot about a community or a society, look at their artists, look at their arts, look what's being produced. So yeah, again, we'll definitely continue this conversation throughout today's show and really throughout the season. But artistic resistance, man, it plays a role. It plays a role. Paul, what say you?
Well, I'm glad that we just talked about this right before we have our special guest coming on, because to me, Film Streams is the place of artistic resistance and community in a big, big way. And so with that, we're going to bring on our special guest that's waiting in the wings. Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda Kephart in the chat. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good. How are you? It's nice to see you this morning.
Thanks.
Yeah,
It's
it'll be nice
see
to be
me.
seen.
You can't
It's nice to see half of you this morning.
Thanks for joining.
No, thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be here.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we got some technical difficulties. This is what happens when we go live. There's always something happening, something up. So,
I
but
love
we
it. It's
we
exciting.
push on through. We push on through for sure. Well, again, thanks for joining us. I've been highly anticipating your visit. Ever since I met you, I thought, wow, what a spirit. And I'm glad that you're with this organization. It's one of my favorite organizations in Omaha, in the Midwest, in the country, as far as I'm concerned. I think Film Streams gets down in a big way. We've been talking, I don't know if you've been hearing us, but we've been talking all week about how Film Streams has turned into kind of this third space that the community can go to and talk about philosophy, see some films, have some discussion with experts and so on. And that's what really caught our attention and made us want to say, hey, we got to figure out some partnership here with you guys. So, so we're really happy that we're finally firing this up. But for our audience, before we get moving on it, tell the audience who you are and what's you're already kind of famous because he was sitting there talking to Spike Lee and we all saw that. But go ahead.
Well, thank you. I'm Amanda Kephart. I am the Strategic Director of Programs and Experience at Film Streams. I've been with the org for a very short amount of time, but have always been a fan of it and movies and what they do and how they make you feel and how they make you feel together with other people, right? And that to me is the key, that how they make you feel together with other people. And so, yeah, yes.
I love it. I have a motto called that I say all the time: "Live alive with one another."
Yes.
And I'm actually working on a photography series of photos of things that you can only do when you're together physically. And sitting watching a movie, is going to be one of the photos, because how many times we sat next to each other, watched something together, experienced it together, cried together, held hands because of whatever was happening on screen. And then to have that other aspect of being able to sometimes speak to the filmmaker, what was their intent behind the thing afterwards, and just have this conversation, express it right after, is really important. It's actually way up our alley, like more than we were even thinking in the first place. Like this is totally us right here in a big way. So I love it, and I'm glad that you're a proponent of that as well. So. This is my subject. I can talk all day long, so I'm gonna shut myself up, buddy. You have some thoughts because y'all take it over. I can already feel it coming.
Definitely. And we, I think our audience are familiar about our affinity for Film Streams. We've, spoken many times about it, shared our personal stories. I am kind of curious as, how you got involved with Film Streams and, kind of the importance of, why you chose to work with this organization for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the short version of the story is, 2020 happened and everybody's life changed, right? I thought that I'd been in food service for 20 years, right? Or adjacent type things. And I thought that was what I was going to do. And I was like, had the opportunity to, leave town for a little bit and sort of regroup in a really different way. And I came home and I thought I have to give back to my community in a different way. So I I left food service and started working in arts nonprofits, and that made me feel different because it woke something up inside of me. You know what I mean? Like I was like, wow, I can really do this thing where I feel like I'm creating space for other people to have conversations about beautiful and difficult things. And I had some strong supporters that helped get me in the right rooms with the right people. So I Maggie Wood, who's our, she's our big shot over here. She's amazing. She was with Inclusive Communities for years and working with Cammie Watkins over there and doing all sorts of good stuff, like all over the place, nationally. I had left my last position, which was amazing. I loved it. The organization's fantastic. It's the Luminarium. You should go check it out. We serve a science museum. So I took some time off and I kind of reached out to a couple of people. I was like, what do I want to do? And she was like, I actually think maybe there's something you might be able to do here with us. And so was able to sort of start working with film streams in this like really organic way, which made it feel really great. This team is a bunch of brilliant young thinkers and doers, and the way they think about film and live film and breathe film is so amazing. I'm wholeheartedly a proponent for the arts, and I view film as probably our true, I think some of our friends in the theater might disagree with me, but the theater. But I view, film as like the first real true immersive art where everything is heightened in a very different way than real life, or going to see, a live production of a piece. Those people are still small when you're way out in the back of, the audience. But when you go to a movie, just like, bam, everything is bigger. It makes the reality more intense. And I think, that's amazing. And I grew up going to movies, and, to be in a place where I get to play in a theater every day is pretty amazing.
Man, that is beautiful. It kind of made me think of a quote from Denzel Washington that kind of speaks about film versus theater, and he says theater is an actor's realm, theater or film is a filmmaker's realm.
Yeah,
and just go ahead, Paul. What were you saying?
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, and just as far as what that means as a medium, I definitely appreciate what you're saying. And not getting too deep, but Hollywood and the film magic, if you will, like what that really means. It really is a powerful medium. So from that, again, a lot of activity we're seeing recently from film streams. Let's kind of start with the Spike Lee of it all. Of course, we just had the Spike Lee event. Speaking of filmmakers, Spike Lee, of course, a legendary filmmaker in his own right. Signature styles, the dolly shots, the content that he talks about. Can you kind of speak to, first of all, why film streams decided it was important to bring him, and personally, what was it like to sit on stage and speak to the man?
We decided to bring Spike Lee because he's awesome. The true definition of the word, right? Like he inspires awe in us. Not just like he's awesome. Like this is a human being who thinks deeply, laughs deeply, is very intentional. And I found him to be rather charming. Like I really enjoyed my time on stage with him. He brought all of New York with him in his pocket, and I loved every second. So I did so much homework. Our whole team did so much homework in choosing what movies and thinking about what questions to ask, and I mean everything, right? Like watching hours upon hours. You know what it's like to do research when you're going to talk to somebody that is bigger than life, right? So yeah, he came with full New York in his pocket. He was exactly who I anticipated him being. I loved every second of it. You all were on fire. The crowd was amazing. It was dope.
Yeah, it was seriously dope. I was very proud of what Film Streams did. All the lead up to it as well. I was actually a part of one of the talkbacks for the Bamboozle movie. So each individual movie was being shown, and there was talkbacks for that, and it led up to him coming. And And I got to tell you, I've probably seen more people from different aspects of Omaha, different sides of Omaha, and different parts of my life all converge into one spot.
Man.
Get fully tuxedo sequence suited and booted, and come to Honor Spike and come and hang out. And that was one of the best crowds that I've ever been around here in Omaha. As I noticed the difference, the separation of sides and stuff like that that happens here. There's people from West Side, North Side. Everybody was there to Honor Spike. It was huge, and I was just really proud of that. So and also, like I said, all the work. It was impactful enough by itself, but all the work that had been done before that, with all the showings of the films, all the talkbacks of the films, we was swimming in Spike all month long before that, man. So it was really something. It was the highlight of the last 15 years that I've been in Omaha for sure.
Man, man, yeah. So that's huge, and it does not look like Film Streams is set to slow down. It's not quite spiked, but definitely a lot of interesting documentaries coming up. Before we get into that, I don't know, there's a few things in the chat. Paul, how you feeling? Got any questions?
Yeah, we already got a suggestion from RG. He says, you know what, OJ Made in America would be a great film to see at Film Streams. The talk back of that would be pretty interesting. But yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Is I Film Streams doesn't shy away from controversial subjects and hard hitting films. Also, just thinking about film in general, film to me. Film is the ultimate art because it involves all the arts. You have your artistry, your writing, your music, your scoring, your special effects. Every single art there is.
You know what? I'm like always impressed by people who are like the set designers. You know what I mean? I feel like those people get like not enough recognition. Like the people who are like creating the world, like we were like, oh, it's the
World
director.
builders.
But there's somebody who's going out and like buying all these period pieces or making or fabricating this stuff. I just think that's amazing. I'm sorry, Paul, go ahead.
I grew up in California, and I had a friend that worked at a spot in LA that was the biggest warehouse I ever saw, and it was nothing but props. And it was everything that you can think of, phones from the 70s, like it was just row after row. And to see people walking up and down, picking stuff out. I mean, everything from chandeliers to whole sides of rooms. It's pretty amazing. It's the world building that is really something else. But there's another thing that happens with film, which is that it's turning out to be documentary film is turning out to be one of the most important ways to learn for people. Most of us are getting our ideas and learning things from either full documentaries or mini documentaries. So just the use of film for education, to spark conversation, to make change, to put people in other people's shoes and heads in order to understand how they live. When you go see something and you never related to a certain group, a demographic of people before, and now you understand something from their perspective and you walk out in tears because now you get it. That only happens with film. It doesn't happen with any other medium. That intensely. So you didn't just start working at any movie theater. You started working at an art house theater that cares about that kind of stuff, which is different from the AMCs and the other places that are just there for entertainment. Yes. This is the reason why we have stuff that's going on like this. I've seen Aftershock documentary, Black History Month films coming up. You want to talk about some of those? And by the way, I named this I named it Amanda Kephart Straight No Chaser because I know that film is coming up as one of my favorite movies of all time. From one of my favorite artists of all time.
Monk.
Yeah, yes, Thelonious Monk. But so I'm going to make a what I would say as a logical connection. So we just had Spike Lee. And on Monday, the 2nd of February, which is next Monday, we're showing Aftershock, which is a documentary that's talking about maternal health, but specifically with a lens on Black maternal health. And that is directed by 2 directors. The first one is Tanya Lewis-Lee. So we inadvertently found that we were showing another Lee film. So Tanya Lewis-Lee is Spike Lee's wife. And we're super excited to be working in partnership and collaboration with University of Nebraska Medical Center College of Public Health. So we're showing Aftershock as part of a series called the Omaha Checkup. And what we're doing there is really leaning into documentaries, but also this year we're going to incorporate some narrative films as well. And so we'll be showing those films in conjunction, like I said, with UNMC College of Public Health. And so we're working to create great, robust panels where you've got local community leaders and nonprofit workers and people who are related to the story that we're telling. You've got them in conversation with people, professionals from the College of Public Health. And so, one of the things that I really like is that we're trying really hard to find individuals who are good science communicators, because we're talking about a lot of like science-based public health things that are really important. And so, a conversation about maternal health Black maternal health can very quickly turn into something that just sounds like numbers. And so where do you put people who can talk to you about the lived experiences that Black women are going through as they're going through their pregnancy journeys and post journeys, right? Like we know that multiple times a year we're seeing Black women be turned away from hospitals or dying immediately following childbirth or during childbirth because they're not being listened to, right? That speaks to a whole nother conversation we could have about how we train individuals to be aware of what's going on. But like these articles are not new. Like if they're all over the place. So the thing we can do together through this community that we're trying to create, these third spaces that you were talking about, Paul, is really create places where conversation can happen. But we're also interested in people being able to do something. And I think, creating actionable items for our communities to engage in so that the community doesn't just stop at our doors, but it can go external. It can become larger. Our community of film streams can become part of the deeper fabric of Omaha. We can create more of those pathways to know people. I think, wow, that is big work. And we're all very, very lucky and proud to be able to do it.
Yeah. As we like to say here on the show, communication rules the nation. It plays a big part in order to communicate these ideas, especially these very, deep stories and points and issues that are kind of hard to talk about in any other forum or format. So, yes.
Yeah, and can I quickly call out our panelists who will be with us on Monday? So we've got Keanu King, who's with UNMC College of Public Health, Lauren Garcia, who's going to be moderating. We have Michelle Coleman with IB Black Girl, who will be on the panel, as well as Nakia Trainum with A Mother's Love. So we're super excited to have that conversation with them.
I was hoping that you're going to partner with IB Black Girl on that. That's awesome.
Big time. But it doesn't stop there. This film actually kicks off a full month of Black film. I guess February is Black History Film Month.
And before we get to that, just want to let people know 8:02 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, you're now in the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning. I'm Paul B. He's Buddy the Gawd. You can't see him because we have some technical difficulties today, but he's here. He's here, and not just in spirit. And we have a special guest, the Strategic Director of Programs and Experience at Film Streams. Amanda Kephart is in the chat with us right now, is on screen with us. And really appreciate you being here. This new partnership with Film Streams we're very excited about. We appreciate you coming and spending the time today to tell us about what's going on. I'm going to put the call out now for our chat chimers and ghost listeners. I highly encourage you to frequent some of these things. We're going to be showing them on Friends of First Sky Omaha and all these other places that we're going to advertise when these movies come out, because it's not just about going to see the movie. Again, it's about this third space where people can get together, have discussions. I love the fact that you'll bring experts on from the panel. I mean, I can watch something at home and get fired up about women's health, for instance, and then what I do, call my doctor and be like, you got to do better. Like, what do you do when you're at home? But when you get into the space and the experts are there and you can talk to them, they can take that back to their office too and be like, this is really important. This is why we all felt it. And there were people there asking questions and so on and so forth. So it's a really, really crucial aspect of community that you guys are taking care of. So we really appreciate that, and are very much looking forward to the films that are going to be featured Black History Month for sure.
Yes.
So, let's get into it.
Losing Ground on February 12th. This is an awesome piece. It's Kathleen Collins directed it, and it's the story, like it's this sort of like kind of experimental story of this couple who are both professors, and she's kind of tight laced and he's kind of not, and I mean, stories of people, right? Like that's all it is. It's this beautiful film, though. We're also showing Dry Longzo on February 19th. 1990s piece. Colleen Smith made this film out in California, and she's a teenage girl who realizes that like the black men and boys around her are not being around her, right? Like they just keep disappearing for all sorts of reasons.
Wow.
And her best friend and her love of her community and her love of herself as she explores that. And then Compensation on February 26th, which is another love story. They're all love stories, which is awesome because it's February. I think one of the things that makes Compensation so unique is that it shows the love story of a speaking person and a non-speaking individual, a deaf American, but and is that deaf woman is using Black Sign Language, which is different than ASL, which is different than American Sign Language, and it's all shot in black and white. And Zainabu Irene Davis is the director on that. We're super excited to be showing those movies. I'm 90% sure that none of them have ever been shown in Omaha before,
Wow.
which is awesome. So we will be having some introductions. I'm not going to say who we're working with. You're going to have to check our website, come see the movie, find out who we're talking to. And then, of course, we're doing are showing Thelonious Monk, Straight No Chaser. So, what a wonderful film, right? First of all, you kind of get this mashup of two amazing worlds together: music and documentary filmmaking. And Thelonious Monk is a man who was very complicated and had a lot of he had a complex life. Like he was a complex human, like all of us are.
Right.
But also, the brilliance that shone through what he created musically and what he was able to teach others and how he worked with others and the inspiration he is. I mean, you got Mos Def in the 90s just like dropping, Thelonious Monk, and like I love it, right? Like this is a person who like has seeped through the culture in a very different way than it seeped into the global culture in a really interesting way. Like his reach into Brazil is tremendous. So we're showing that film, which you should definitely come see on February 7th and February 11th.
It's going down. It's
It's going.
going down. I gotta say, it being on February 7th, this is one of these films that me and my family just watched over and over again. Just was so influenced by I got a picture of me standing in Omaha in 1990 when I was like 22 years old with this image on my shirt because it was just such an influence. Yeah, it's just such an influential film. And it just ties me to my heritage, my grandfather, my people that introduced me to this, and that moment when Mos Def sat down and was playing Straight No Chaser on the piano was the moment we were like, oh, okay, Mos Def is doing something. He's somebody. He one of us, or whatever we felt.
Yasin Bey he's still Yasin. Yes.
There you go.
Yasin
There you
Bey,
go.
yeah.
Disrespect on his name.
Right, exactly.
He was Mos Def when he sat at that piano, though. I was
Yeah, and he's still the most deaf.
He is absolutely the most Def. I don't know what year it was. It had to be 1999, 2000, 2001. Most Def came to the Ranch Bowl.
What?
I saw Most Def at the Ranch Bowl.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was
OG.
wild.
We gotta do Dave Chappelle Block Party screening at Film Streams at some point as well.
Hey.
That era is something else. But yes, to me, I'm thinking about people that are important to me as far as artists are concerned, like Yasin Bey. These are his influences, and you gotta come check this out in a big way. I'm also kind of interested in this one too, this Dry Longzo film. I've read a couple things about it. Seems pretty interesting. So I see that there's something. Is it weekly that these films are coming out in February?
Yeah, we've got something weekly celebrating Black History Month, and like definitely shining that. Yes, Most Def was at the Ranch Bowl. It was crazy. There was we're doing something weekly, and they're what I love is that like each one of these stories is centered around love. right? And what love looks like in different formats. You know, I don't think we talk enough about the different types of love. You know, but
Mm.
film allows us to sort of step into those emotions at times. And I think, yeah, each of these films is a beautiful movie, you know,
Mm-hmm.
made, all of them are directed by Black women directors too, which is pretty awesome. So,
Oh.
you know, that the opportunity to do that felt especially pressing it this year. So,
Can we tell you about one aspect of love that we talk about here on this show all the time? We
please.
call it we call it the love supreme.
Yes, yes.
Of course, we got it from John Coltrane.
Mhm.
But for us, we've kind of defined it as this kind of art soldiering. This using your art to battle what's going on in life, and how you can art as activism. Basically, is what we're talking about here. So we definitely feel like film is a part of that. And the things that you guys have chosen is a part of that. The fact that these are all films about love in February is awesome. Can't wait to go check this stuff out. I'm gonna put that call out to our chat chimers, our ghost listeners. We really want you. Let's group
Man.
together. Let's get together and go sit next to each other and go watch some of these films and participate in some of the talkbacks and so on and so forth. Yeah, we'll give you dates and all that kind of stuff on Friends of First Sky Omaha and all those things. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to it. Buddy, anything else you want to add before we let her get on about her day?
Not really. I think we touched on it, man. Definitely check it out. Check it out for yourselves. Definitely, if you have not been to film streams, please just stop playing yourself. Go check it out. just stop. Just stop. Just go check it
Buddy,
out.
you're gonna go
Man,
in the morning.
yeah, it definitely is a life changing experience. Like if you haven't experienced film in that way, it definitely develops a deeper appreciation for the medium, and I think it really is a sweet spot in who we are and what we're trying to do. And I really agree with you, Paul, as far as it is a convergence of storytelling, the human experience, art in all of its forms, visual, fashion, colors, music, all of it kind of comes in film. So again, thank y'all for the work that you're doing. And yeah, I'm excited to see what this partnership with Film Streams brings. We're definitely excited to call you all partners of ours. So yes,
Yeah,
thank
and
you.
we're also very happy that you're over there. You're bringing something to the team, to the crew that we already love in the first place, in a big way. So hey, more folks over there that can talk about the culture and get down with the culture, and really help that and push that as well. I mean, it just is a bonus because it's already good over there, but now, so we appreciate your presence over
Man,
at Film
man.
Streams as well.
I do
Yeah.
have one last question. Any way we can help out some listeners with some tickets?
Yes, absolutely. So I will say the Omaha Checkup tickets are free for that. That is once a month. That's happening the first Monday of every month from now until at least the end of the year.
Okay.
So you can get online at filmstreams.org, go to the Omaha Checkup portion of the website, or you can pull up February 2nd as the date, get tickets that way. So I would love to give away a pair of tickets to Thelonious Monk Straight No Chaser. And that's showing
Mm.
on February 7th and the 11th. And then I also think I'd like to give away a pair of tickets to Dry Longzo, which is on February 19th. So
Okay.
Okay. Check your calendars, y'all.
Yeah,
Tap in.
we'll put a little contest together for our chat chimers to see.
Yeah.
We'll put some questions out there, and if you answer them first, then we'll get you some tickets over there. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
2 sets of 2 tickets coming at you.
There
Two
you
sets
go.
of
There you
tickets
go.
coming at you. Look for the weekly wrap newsletter today for the questions. We'll put that in the newsletter. Appreciate you very much. Anything else you want to leave us with? What's one of your outside of work? What's another fun thing that you like to do in Omaha? What do you like to do for fun in Omaha?
Oh,
That's weird. That's weird, like axe throwing or something like that. Like what do you?
okay,
What do you
okay,
like to do?
no, it's good. I'm a nerd. So I like games. So you
Okay.
can frequently find me wandering around one of our local game shops. There's a handful of those. They're pretty awesome. Also, I'm a big Lego fan, so I spend a lot of time
Mm.
putting together Legos and doing that. When it comes to like how I like to spend my time with arts, I mean, I love Jocelyn. OPA is amazing. You know, go see something live. Go sit in a dark space and listen to live music with other humans. You know, go wander around the Joslin and see some art with the sun shining on your face. Go take advantage of the things that we have in our community because we are very lucky to have them.
Man.
She one of us, what, buddy? For real.
Hey, I'm hearing it.
Appreciate you coming by today. Very much so. We can't wait to have you back.
Thank you both. Good to see you this morning.
Likewise. Peace.
See ya. Man, that's what's up. Nothing like a feel good Friday. I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
We will. Ariel Sport to say me. Okay, yeah. We'll put something out there for you for sure.
Yeah, look out. Weekly rap. Look it out.
RG said the Spike Lee Film Fest was enough for me to get an individual membership.
There you go.
I renewed my membership at Film Streams when I heard that was coming. So yeah, it's another one, man. You know, we need to support what we need to support on this day, which is a economic blackout everywhere in a big way. And that's the wrong flyer. I knew it was another black one. Ice out. Nationwide shutdown is happening right now as we speak. Lots of businesses are deciding that they are going to participate, not just in Minneapolis, but all around the country and even some here in Omaha. This is going on, man. And like I said, you know, think about why this is happening. If we can make some economic changes, if we can make people feel it in their pocket, then they may speak up and decide that they're going to speak out against some of the stuff that's happening. So this is really for the major corporations to chime up and say, listen, we also are going to pressure these politicians that we have in our pocket and tell them to get ice out of these cities so that everybody can go back to shopping. And that's kind of the purpose behind this ice out nationwide economic shutdown is what's going on here. But this also reminds me to understand what you should do with your dollars. You also got power with your dollars as well. You also can take your dollars and go put it on something that's important, like a membership at Film Streams, for instance. Because be a part of that community for real. There's only a few communities that out there that I feel like are doing something on a national scale. Film Streams is one of them. So use your dollars for that. Become a member and let's hit some of these films and have some of these discussions. Really is kind of like the extension of what we do live here in a big way.
Man, all the way.
Yep.
All the way.
Appreciate you guys joining us today, and we're not done yet. It's 8:17 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're going to take a quick break and come back and jump back into a little bit more conversation. This is a Love Supreme Friday on Friday the 30th, end of the month as well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, and we really appreciate everybody joining us. Do us a favor again. You can share the show, even if you're not listening to us live. If you're listening to the recording later on today, you can still share the show and let as many people in on the concepts that we're talking about here as possible. So stay tuned. We'll be right back for Sky Omaha in the morning. All Beeee, Buddy to God. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul Beeee, Buddy to God. Man, for those of you just joining us, technical difficulties on the camera on Buddy's side.
Man,
is what it is. We might end up doing a first in the last 5 years. You know, our 5-year anniversary was like yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, it popped up on Facebook. In 5 years, we've never done a show where Buddy's camera didn't work the whole show.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's crazy. I mean, I could turn it back on, but I don't know if it's gonna stay on. Is my issue. I'm having some cord issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a power thing. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. maybe you should give it a try. See how long it lasts. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. But in the meantime, between time, thanks for everybody that came on, had some suggestions for the guests, was respectful for the guests. What'd you think? What'd you think of our new guests, our new partners at Film Streams?
Man,
How do you feel about that? This is the year for us to really be talking about it too, man, because that Spike Lee retrospective was off the chain for real. It was a cultural movement in Nebraska, as far as I'm concerned.
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was way too many. Like I said, man, it was like worlds colliding. It was way too many different sides coming together. I sat next to some folks at the Spike Lee event, and we were like, "What's your favorite Spike Lee movie?" And they were naming some stuff. I was like, "Wow." And actually able to sit in the theater and watch some of these films again, just the powerful nature of that. Like I said, we were me and Marcy Yates and Joanne LaFleur from Malcolm X Memorial Foundation was on a panel for the Bamboozled movie. So you can imagine some of the comments and stuff that was happening from the crowd. There was a lot of white folks that was feeling really uncomfortable but making some comments on that film, but they did. And we had some pretty good discussion about that film, and just in the context of our society and what's going on right this minute, and how relevant that film still is in so many different ways. So we were kind of having a black conversation with a few more people in the room, and it was powerful. So, yeah, man, interesting stuff. Like I said, some of these highlights, some of the moments of last year to me, a couple of them have been very much centered around Film Stream. So I'm excited.
I'm sorry. I'm processing and downloading, and how to get to the next thing and really expand. It's not even the next thing, but expand into. I want to get into this conversation of the humanities and this call to action and just the connection of it. The connection of it all. Because I do at some point want to touch on what recently happened in Minneapolis, and we have friends, our first guy going up there, and I think of film's power in telling these stories and making a connection to the human heart of some of these stories. And I think of Do the Right Thing and the story that it tells about police brutality and what we're seeing now in the streets of Minneapolis, in the conversation the nation is being confronted with as far as police brutality and what a film like Do the Right Thing adds to that conversation is huge. And Paul and I were kind of having a conversation about humanities in general before the show. And again, if you're not familiar, film is definitely an aspect of the humanities, talking about art and in many other areas. Again, the importance of it. So before we dive into the importance, I know you had a call to action for that. Do you have that ready or?
I do, yeah. First of all, I just kind of want to talk to people about a thing that I attended recently. I went to an event where a couple of art institutions out here in Nebraska were getting together to try to figure out exactly what we can do to enhance art and stop the brain drain, draw people to the city, and what we can do to make sure that we can keep on working with funders. And while I was there, I learned that there's a humanities. Well, actually, there is a organization that's called. Let's see here. I'll bring up the flyer. That's not it. I'll bring up the flyer real quick so we can start talking about that. It's
is it Humanities Nebraska?
No, it's the Nebraska Cultural Endowment Fund. So, you ever heard of the National Endowment for the Arts? I'm sure that we've seen that on the end of movies and stuff like that a lot. The National Endowment for the Arts was federal money that is given to states given to organizations in states in order to continue art, build that up. As you can imagine, we're in an administration right now that is taking that away.
Yeah.
And everybody is really hurting for funding. Hence, this is the reason why PBS is no more, and so on and so forth. Right. All these things that have been happening has been happening because one of the reasons because the National Endowment for the Arts has taken money away, the federal side of that. Well, Nebraska in particular, and this is not something that other states have done, but Nebraska in particular developed their own called the Nebraska Endowment for the Arts. And it is a situation where where everybody who wants to donate to them, the state will match the donations. Well, we live in a state where they like to follow suit for the national.
Trump Jr.
Trump Jr. decided that they were going to stop that as well. So the national the Nebraska Endowment for the Arts, that's always been kind of the safe space to go, whatever's going on with the administration. If the national gets cut off, we still got money for arts. That's now in jeopardy as well, because the state is in debt. We've been talking about this for a while, and our governor is trying to figure out how to pull the state out of debt. And of course, the first thing that goes is services, arts, things that we care about, because this administration really doesn't care about it that much. And like I say, we follow suit here in this state with our current leadership. So with that, we got word that this was happening after the governor put his budget out and decided this was happening. And so these arts organizations that I've been associated with have chimed up and said, listen, we need to protect Nebraska's Cultural Preservation Endowment Fund. And in that way, we oppose LB 1072, which is a law that is something they're trying to push past the legislature in order to stop some of these funds. So the NCE's private fund remains safe right now, but the match fund, the CPEF, managed by the State Investment Council, is at risk because Pete Ricketts is talking. I'm sorry, Pete Ricketts. Pillin is talking about taking that away. Like you said, Freudian slips on these things.
Man, it's the same. It's the same. Like,
yeah.
Little Scooby-Doo mask switch.
Yeah. So here's some information on reasons to oppose LB 1072. Basically, the call to action is to call your senator. You can write. We talk about this all the time. Call your senator, or you can show up to the hearing, or you can write letters before the date. I believe the date is February 2nd. It says provide written testimony for both our Appropriations Committee hearings by Monday, February the 2nd, and Wednesday, February the 11th at 8 a.m. So letter writing and so on and so forth. We're going to put more information out here and talk about this more, because it affects all of us. It's not just the arts that are affected here. It's arts and humanities, which is something else I've learned at that conference that I went to. Is humanities, when you hear arts and humanities, you don't really think about the humanities part. What does that mean? Art organizations can get funds and stuff like that a lot. But what about humanities organizations? What are they? And this is something that I've been really learning as well. But first of all, just to give you a little idea here, some of the arts and humanities programs in Nebraska that this Nebraska Cultural Endowment has helped has been stuff like the school bus grants. NAC grants that help school fund transportation to students can attend arts and cultural field trips. Prime the family reading time, family literacy and discussion programs held in libraries and schools to strengthen reading and intergenerational engagement. Nebraska Warrior Writers, literary workshops and community for veterans and active service members. Capital Forum on America's Futures, Nebraska Forum on Global Issues, Civic Engagement and Discussion Program for high school students, African Culture Connection, Cultural Experience Program, Asian Community and Cultural Center Humanities presentations in Lincoln, Beeee facilitated discussions tied to exhibitions, El Museo Latino, lecture series and workshops, Omaha Symphony. We got chat chimers that work for the symphony here, Omaha Public Library Foundation, that starts a lot of these things that are happening around. And then, of course, we got other areas in arts like the Blue Barn Theater, Beeee Center for Contemporary Arts, Jocelyn Art Museum, Omaha Symphony, Opera Omaha. All these in 2020 special distributions from NEC, along with matching private supporters, enabled Humanities Nebraska to award hundreds of pandemic relief grants, totaling more than $750,000 in 153 organizations statewide. So lots of money flows from these arts and humanities organizations, come from these funds, and these funds are now in jeopardy because whenever the state is losing money, the first thing that goes is programs for poor people, and then arts and everything else next. And this is what's happening. So these organizations are chiming up. We had to talk about it a little bit, and there's a call to action to oppose this bill. I'll put that up there again so you can see what that is. LB 1072. Put that on your list of bills to oppose. I know that there's some of you out there that are doing that. So put this on the list, and we'll give some more information out. We'll put this on Friends of First Sky Omaha, so you can hit that that QR code and sign up and, actually put your name down as a petition, so that we can get names and, tell people, the powers that be, we don't want this. We want to keep arts funding we want to make sure that Nebraska feels like this is an important thing, that we have arts funding and continue on with these arts, but not just arts, humanities.
There you go.
Buddy, tell us about humanities, if you would.
Excuse me. Yes, humanities is interesting. It's very, very interesting. In my personal life, my kind of religious studies, I'm a student of a body of knowledge, information called moral science. And it is definitely rooted in what is known as the seven humanities, also known as the seven classic liberal arts. And essentially, all of these things deal with the human understanding of society and the human experience. And it is very interesting when we start to see these types of things being defunded and some of the dehumanization and just nonsense that we start to see in our society. So just for those who aren't familiar, the seven classical liberal arts or seven humanities, again, the base humanities of society really in Western education are broken down into two groups. One is the trivium and the other is the quadrivium. The trivium is three groups: grammar, logic, and rhetoric. Again, grammar, logic, and rhetoric, all things dealing with communication and comprehension, reading, those things. The quadrivium deals with arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. And when you get into music and art, there is a science behind art. When you talk about octaves, the 12 notes, when you talk about color theory, the science behind art plays a part in this as well. And again, all of this is important because when you really, again, get into the depths of it, this is the second hour where we kind of get loose. It really is talking about society. And when you kind of think about where society came from, how society and culture was built, the connection to Africa, man, it kind of is very interesting when you look at this concept of white supremacy. And I've talked about the book Stolen Legacy and, Renaissance, and where a lot of the idea of this so-called white supremacy comes from, and the contributions that they say, have been given, and then you kind of research that and you find that it actually came from Africa, and a lot of the mystery schools and a lot of the systems dealing with the basis of humanities and philosophy, and how we understand the human experience, and how that kind of lends itself to creating the quote unquote master narrative or combating the quote unquote master narrative. Again, a huge conversation, and we can continue to break that down. But that is the basis of, why we wanted to introduce this today, as far as that call to action and our growing understanding of what the humanities are, what it means. And, the conversation, I'm glad you're framing it this way, that it's not just arts, but it is dealing with humanities, because as we see a lot of these programs be cut, we've hearing Governor Pillen already talking about making cuts to certain things. You on the surface, you think, okay, we're losing art. Yes, our life is more interesting with art. But when you think of art as people just painting fruit in bowls, and you know what I mean, the surface level of art, the argument to keep it isn't really there. But when you actually think about that connection and what it means, and how art changes society, how art changes how we view things, how art can move in conversation, how art can move people's heart. And not just, art, but how we comprehend that art, which goes into logic, which goes into reasoning, which goes into philosophy, which goes into religion, and it kind of opens itself up to the whole human experience. So again, it's not just, arts and the kids not being able to play with Play-Doh being defunded. It's much, much bigger than that.
And just to be clear, we actually think art is a necessary
yes.
situation that is not a frivolous thing to get rid of because it's not necessary. We think it's necessary for life. Actually, is kind of where we stand on it. But it's a great way to frame this that we're not just talking about arts, we're talking about humanities as well, because of this reason. The reason why we're interested. Buddy gave you some of the spiritual background about what humanities is about. When it comes to funders, humanities are looking, when they say humanities, they're talking about core disciplines. They're talking about history, local, state, and national, global history. They're talking about public history projects, oral history and memory projects, literature, reading, interpretation, author talks, poetry, fiction, philosophy, ethics, moral, and our favorite, public discussion of ideas, values, and belief systems. So when it comes down to it, we're interested when it hit me what humanities really is. It hit me that this is what we do. Yep. We're in the humanities area of everything, of the spiritual side and of the funding side. If we want to go for funding for what it is that we're trying to do here, we understand now that we need to let people know that we are in the humanities sector, not just arts but humanities, and that is also in jeopardy along with arts. They put arts and humanities together. So that's another reason for the call to action too, is hitting close to home. We do some of this humanities work in us doing the show. And we understand now that we're a part of that scene. I might have not have gone for an art grant to do the show, but I'll absolutely go for a humanities grant to do the show now that I understand what that means and what we do, how that matches. And a lot of the things that a lot of you do too. I'm really thinking about a lot of the chat chimers, the creative ways that you do things for your organizations in order to make some change, in order to make things happen. I'm thinking about the work that IB Black Girl does. I'm thinking about the work that One Omaha does. These are organizations to me that are involved in humanities as well. Man. And so this call to action to fight money being taken away from funding these necessary things is something that I hope that you guys get behind like we are. So I didn't really want to spend this much time on it today, but I did want to. I'm glad that we went into the breakdown. If you have any other things to add to that about arts and humanities, because like I said, this is a new thought for me, something that I'm just learning. Let us know. And if you use arts and humanities in your fight for justice and everything as well, love to hear that. And you can always hit us up at Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page on Facebook, or hit us up directly, firstskyOmaha@gmail.com. I would really love to hear about your thoughts and feelings behind what you think about arts and humanities and whether or not they should be funded here in Nebraska.
Man, and I guess one last thought on that, kind of as we wrap it up, connecting it to our conversation that we've been having this season about capitalism, and why certain endowments and funding mechanisms to support the humanities are important, and thinking about the fact that it's not a direct money maker per se when you think about the humanities and you think about philosophy and people philosophizing and doing art is not necessarily insurance. You know what I mean? It's not when you think of capitalism, it doesn't quite lend itself to that system the best. Art is not necessarily a money generator, but when you talk about how it feeds the soul and how it feeds the human experience, it does make us wealthy in that way. But again, the whole conversation of capitalism versus socialism and other things that aren't necessarily based in pure income, gross revenue, tangible funds. We're talking about feeding the soul, something that's a little more intangible but a lot more valuable.
And I also think it's the catalyst for everything as well. The reason why this administration has fought that, they all but burn books, and taking books away out of libraries and stuff all the time, taking funding away from education and all that, because any of those things that feed your mind and your soul makes you decide on what it is you're going to spend your money on, how you're going to act, what you're going to do. So there's a direct connection to those types of things. They want to control the master narrative and the ideology. The ideology only comes from us living alive with one another, talking, having conversation, learning, reading, watching motivational things, watching things that stir us to action. And those are the things that are also being threatened, just like we've also been talking about for the last 2 weeks when it comes to social media, TikTok, everything else that's been happening. All those things too are all connected to those things. So they're not just taking, throwing us in jail, taking money away and jacking our lives up in that kind of physical way. They also have a war against all these spiritual ways that we tune our minds and our hearts, because they know that that's a direct, how you feel and what you think directly affects what you're going to do next. And that's something that's they feel threatened by as well. So we appreciate that. RG says losing a chunk of human experience, kick the science, buddy to God.
Straight up.
Also, Kimmer says we need to encourage creative thinking. There's only one way to do that. Yeah. So
Again, that's the antithesis, to what the powers that be, quote unquote, the master narrative is trying to push us toward. They want us to not have creative thinking, to not be able to think on our own and to draw conclusions, but to be cogs in the wheel and to regurgitate the talking points that were fed. But again, transitioning in the last 20 or so minutes of the show into what we're seeing in Minneapolis, because that's not what's going on. The people are well aware of what's going on. The people are studied on history as far as what we're seeing and witnessing in human this chapter of human history per se. Where we're hearing religious arguments. All of these things are birthed out of the humanities as far as what we're seeing in Minneapolis. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Of course, being reported, we do have a friend of First Sky traveling up there. Actually, I guess a second or third friend of First Sky now that have gone to the front lines. Paul Philman is making his way up. Shout out to Channel 3 for reporting on this. And yeah, man, our hearts and minds are going out not just to Paul, and not just to Anthony, but to all the just humans out there. Speaking of the humanities, all the humans out there who care about other humans, and really that's at the heart of all of this. I mean, if you don't care about other humans, then you might not care about the humanities. But if you view yourself as a human amongst other humans, then humanity itself and the humanities will matter. So again, man, speaking of that, human rights violations, hearts and minds going out to not just those traveling up, those that are already on the front lines and now learning more and more about what it is that they're exactly dealing with. I'm calling human rights violations, man. Have you heard about this LRAD that has been used? This is kind of, yeah, man, this is crazy, and there's several layers to this conversation that we might not be able to get to in this last 20 minutes, but I definitely want to talk about it. The LRAD being reported by CBS News, it stands for Long Range Audio Device. This is something that was recently used during the capturing of Maduro in Venezuela. Reports are coming out about what this thing does, and again, this is a military weapon that was used in Minnesota, and this is an important part, not by ICE. Minnesota officials, Minnesota state troopers, Minnesota State Patrol, Minnesota police, not federal ICE, who everybody's claiming is the one. No, the state police are the ones who use this military weapon called a long-range acoustic device to disperse protesters. Again, an LRAD is like a loudspeaker, but it focuses the sound in a narrow cone so that if you're inside the cone, it's extremely loud. But if you're outside the cone, then you don't hear it. It's actually canceled out by phasing. But if you're inside the cone, this is what you're experiencing. Permanent hearing loss, bleeding from the nose, vomiting, nausea, disorientation. These are the things that protesters are being hit with by local authorities.
That's wild, man. I heard about these things. I've seen some stuff about them. It's wild.
In some situations where you might end up using force, kinetic force, or even lethal force, this can avoid that and avoid damage to permanent damage to people. That's according to my apologies, Marine Colonel Mark Causian, who's a senior advisor for the Center for Strategic and International Studies, who's talking about the use of this LRAD, which again is a military weapon being used on American citizens.
It's incredible. Yeah, have you heard of this? Let us know if you've heard of this. If you've seen this before or experienced it, definitely want to know. Like Buddy said earlier, we have Chad Chimers that are out there. Brother Anthony Rogers Wright is out there. Also, Brother Paul Philman is out there. We were talking about him. He actually posted some stuff on Friends of First Sky Omaha about some places that he went to help distribute food and the things that they did for there, and also just his the desire and pull to go. Seeing that he had experienced this in his life. His father was escaped from the Nazis. And so he's feeling like we're in the same type of situation here. So he's doing all he can to go help. But yeah, I would love to hear if some of these kind of boots on the ground things that you're seeing. I feel lucky to even get this report that these things are even happening out there, to be honest with you. And it's crazy that they are. It's really crazy that that's happening. And I thought that was ICE doing that. So you clarified it. It's not. It wasn't even ICE that used that weapon. It was
It was
wild.
Minnesota State Patrol, which was dispatched and rolled out by the governor. I forget his name. Waltz. So again, and I bring that up, that point specifically, as far as it wasn't ICE, it was Minnesota State Patrol, because of how the conversation is being had right now, that, you know, what we're seeing from ICE isn't a symptom of just policing in America in general. And, you know, what we're seeing from ICE isn't just what we've been dealing with in general. And people calling on, you know, have been real conversations. I believe Mayor Fry in Minneapolis, you know, was very candid on whether or not he believed the local police, you know, force has the actual force to stand up to ICE, or has the ability to arrest ICE when they're, you know, brutalizing people. And it's the same force. Like, what do you think? Whose side are they really on? You see what's really going on. And I appreciate RG in the chat kind of going back to his OJ comment and really kind of connecting the dots. He says, y'all asked me why the OJ movie it hits different today. He says the LAPD blueprint of the 50s and 60s that they showed is being used in modern policing, including the approach of ICE. So again, talking about, this is good old American policing. This, what we're seeing from ICE, what we're seeing in Minneapolis, is nothing new. And again, the humanities, you know, studying history and philosophy, it'll teach you a lot about that.
Really will. It really will. Yeah, I was really kind of thinking about those days too. With OJ, you know, who the police chief was there. We had some. It was some wild times in California when it came to that, and to see these types of things happening now, it's really, nothing's changed. It actually even got worse. It seems like in a lot of ways. So, or we just seeing more of it because of that. Also, something mentioned too that's happening there now that we're talking a little bit about Minneapolis and some of the chat chimers and stuff that are up there. When Paul Philman went up, he's basically helping out a couple of these organizations, church organizations, Youthway Ministries, and he was on site with this place called Manna Market. He was up there delivering food, basically getting food to people that are afraid to come out of their homes out there, which is something that we had talked about last week as well. Yeah. This particular organization has been serving 2,500 families per week. That's how many people they're serving, because they serve anybody who needs food, anybody's asking for it, anybody who needs it, and even deliver it to people now, because a lot of them are scared to leave the house. Been hearing reports on alternative media, though, this is unconfirmed, that they have now are starting to use that tactic. They're starting to follow white folks with food, with bags of groceries, because they think they might lead them to some houses of some people that are hiding out, and they are going door to door. So nothing has really changed quite yet. Things are escalating. There's still many people out on the street, but things are escalating in a bunch of different ways, and they're constantly changing tactics on a daily basis as well. So we don't see this slowing down anytime soon, and it really gets to that question that we always get to around this time of the show. What are we going to do about it? What do we do? How do we keep our families safe? Well, how do we keep ourselves together? And at the same time, how do we? What's the strategy here for making some difference? We got to depend on some of these judges that are trying to stop some of these things. Some of the politicians, as a matter of fact, heard on the radio this morning that there's a partial shutdown coming, another partial shutdown coming. And there's some Democrats now that are saying we'll shut down the Homeland Security, the whole department, if some of these aren't met. I've heard them talk tough like that before.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Usually doesn't work out that way. But, you know, again, it's on people's minds. Make it make sense. Like Ariel's 402 says, he says, make sense to me. He says some people don't support the police, but support ICE. Make it make sense. Maybe they think it's two separate groups. Not sure. Parker and Gates, man, I was thinking about Gates earlier, bro. You talking about a wild cat. Sorry about the technical difficulties here, but he's obviously having with his camera. He's going in and out. But we're on track here to finish out the show. Anthony Rogers, right in the chat. Appreciate it. You said there's a lot of people doing amazing work, and you will notice something about Minneapolis organizers. None of them center themselves or talk to the press. That's kind of a rule up there. Interesting. So nobody's giving any updates, talking to the press there. Makes sense. Keep your head down, do the work, and don't reveal a whole lot. Don't reveal your hand all the time as well of what it is that you're doing, tactics doing. Spend the time talking to each other to empower each other on that. He says they are not talking about that at all, Paul. They just caved in and about to fund ICE for 2 more weeks. So yeah, on top of the news of some Democrats saying that they're going to shut down Homeland Security if they don't abide by these demands that they have here that will stop the partial shutdown, that this is what they're going to do. At the same time, we're reporting on the fact that they keep continuing to add to the budget. They keep continuing to say, yeah, here's some more money. ICE, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, more than ever right now. It feels like the people are in the streets because more than ever they're feeling like they can't depend on either side to stop the tyranny that's going on, and that's a shame. So appreciate you, Anthony Rogers, right, Paul Philman, everybody who's boots to the roots out there on the ground, bringing back some of the reports and letting us know how these things are moving. We're learning something all the time about how things are moving there. We're keeping our eye closely on what's happening there in Minneapolis, especially. So, just really kind of worried about what's happening. Buddy, you back?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Just really kind of worried about what's happening. And again, this is happening. We have some Friends of First Sky Omaha had a couple posts that I hadn't seen until this morning. Some reports out of Maine where ICE is going door to door. There's other places this is still going on, still happening. Oh, yeah. And of course, right here in Omaha, they're walking up to the courthouse taking people off. So this is definitely something that's still going.
Yeah. I've seen reports about some helicopters and things flying around in Chicago, still trying to figure out what's going on with Operation Midway Blitz. Also recently reported down here in Georgia, Fulton County, Fannie Willis's district. The election office was just attacked by FBI agents. So again, trying to figure out what is going on, and what can we do about it. Electoral politics comes to mind. There is that. We have midterms. We have the 6 to dismiss, but that's not the end all. End all be all. We got to talk about economic power. How can we pool our resources? How can we fund? How can we organize? Coalition building is also a lane that we're going to have to bring together. Mm-hmm. And as you see it, speaking of coalition building rolling out today, as with this national shutdown, it's going to take that. It's kind of hard to have a shutdown and to unplug from the matrix, if you will, if you don't have a secondary system to plug into. You're just kind of out here in the wilderness in that way. So again, we have to continue to organize also. And artistic resistance, it's all of the lanes having to come together in order to help us navigate through this. We'll definitely continue to talk about it. And just about 8 minutes left in this thing. What say you, Paul?
Yeah. First of all, I'm going to jump to a few other community happenings that's going on here before we get out of here. But before we do that, Anthony Rogers right in the chat is saying they are not talking about that at all. We just said that one. He said ICE can't be defunded, as I explained on my podcast this week. Put the podcast in Friends of First Sky Omaha so we can check that out. He says their budget is enshrined and untouchable for 4 more years due to the budget reconciliation process rather than regular order. In fact, ICE is the 15th highest funded military force in the world.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Kind of side note. A little funny though. Did you hear about ICE planning to go to Italy? They're planning to go out to Italy for the preliminary Olympic Games, and Italian officials were like, "Why? Why are y'all coming here? We don't want you here."
You're gonna come here and pull people over.
Yeah. So again, ICE is trying to mobilize internationally now. So Trump's force is on the move.
Trump's personal military.
Yeah.
Keep the dream alive. Join the march, January 31st, 2026. This is happening, as you can see.
Tomorrow.
Lots. This is, tomorrow. Tomorrow, this is it. People have been talking about this for a while. They're going to meet at 24th and Lake, of course, at 10:30. Community gathering at 11:30 at Salem Baptist Church. So they're going to do a little bit of march here. Keep the dream alive in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., brother Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. As you can see, there's many people that are behind this at the end of the flyer there. Everybody who's associated with this march and contributing to keep the dream alive. There's a registration there, so we can kind of keep track of what's going on. There's a QR code at the top. We'll put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha, so you can hit that QR code, register, and get your march on as well. We already talked about this earlier in the show, but please support the Beyond the Stigma fellas over there. You can hit up Johnny No Good, give him a donation, or just participate. Come on through on January 31st, which is also tomorrow, from 3 to 5. Assembly of the Saints. It's going down. It's a free event, light refreshments provided, and great conversations happening with the community, with men. Really trying to open up. A lot of men are able to get past this idea that they got to hold it all in and have some conversations, man, and support each other in a big way. So shout out to No Good for doing that. Also, don't forget about Senator McKinney's events. This is one that he has put on his page, Omaha Inland Port Authority Innovation District Plan reveal date, Tuesday, February 3rd. I'm looking forward to this. I want to see what the Innovation District Plan reveal is. That's going to be happening at Metropolitan Community College, Building 21, which we call the Mule Barn over there. Definitely check that out as well. Shout out to Senator McKinney for putting those out in a big way. We also talked about, let's see, what was the other one we need to get to? There's a financial literacy. Speaking of follow the money, financial literacy class coming up for small business owners. Hayes and Associates, which is a Black-owned company that's been here for a while, doing good work in the community. And they're putting this on. It's a 10-week program, cost tuition waived. The platform is online, designed for small business owners earning $50K or more. Real support from trusted CPAs, not DIY or automated. Lessons are mobile-friendly, short, and easy to access, supported by NSORG, no cost to you. And we all know that that's the DED money that they were putting to good use here to help to train some small business. And one thing has come out of this whole NSORG situation is the recognition that we all don't know how to do business. Some of us need a little bit of training when it comes to how to solidify up business in a big way. I know I learned a lot in this process about what the federal funds and stuff like that are requiring your business to be and do in order for you to be a legitimate company and benefit from some of these kinds of funds. And it just helped us to, sharpen our skills on what it is that we need to do with business. So I'm looking forward to actually learning more about that. Take control of your business finances. Building business is something that's an interest of mine. It's something that we're trying to do with First Sky Omaha. So shout out to Hayes and Associates for getting this together. Talking about following the money for sure. Hey. Also, save the date, man. IB Black Girl is doing the Legislative Day March on March 4th. Put this on your calendar. This is coming up. They're actually taking a group of people to the state capitol and running them through everything that goes on Legislative Day, how bills work, and so on and so forth. Major educational opportunity here, and I'm putting it out early so that you can put that on your calendar. I think this is going to be great. Get a great group of people going up to Lincoln, seeing how things work. Shout out to IB Black Girl for doing the good work on this one in a big way. And also one last thing, man. I don't know if you've seen this, but boy, Trump gonna be mad about this one. The Nobel Peace Prize they're talking about giving to the city of Minneapolis and its people for the 2026 Nobel Peace Prize. So
what?
As longtime observers of struggles to establish peace and justice in the United States and around the world, and as the editors of a magazine that is proud to have included several Nobel laureates on our editorial board and masthead, including the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we are honored to nominate the city of Minneapolis and its people for the 2026 Nobel Peace Prize. Heavy nomination from the Nation magazine there. Heavy nomination.
That's interesting.
Never heard of a whole city and its people getting the Nobel Peace Prize. So that's a new one on me too.
Yeah, and not really familiar about how nominees are presented. Like media companies can just nominate Who they feel? How's that?
Exactly.
How's that work? How's that work?
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Exactly. So yeah, lots there to unpack in a big way. I think that was a very interesting thing that came up there. So
Man,
anyway, that's about it, man. I just wanted to kind of make sure that we got some of those haps in.
well,
Go ahead.
1 second. As you were talking, going through the haps, a bombshell was dropped, and I don't know if you see it, but shout out to brother RG. Shout out to brother Sherman Wells. Little news gang, breaking news, man. Don Lemon and Georgia Fort have been arrested this morning by the feds.
What?
News gang, news gang, news gang. Yes, yes. And yeah, man. RG in the chat says, Don Lemon was arrested this morning by federal agents in LA. Sherman Wells also says, good morning, brothers. One of the independent journalists from Minnesota was arrested by ICE this morning. Georgia Fort. Come on, man. Come on, Paul. Georgia Fort. She is just like us. Yes, brother. We were very familiar with Sister Georgia Fort. She's reporting on the local news in Minneapolis. Been very vocal, boots to the roots. I mean, when we talk about news gang, when we talk about who we are trying to be in the news space, what we're trying to do, Georgia Fort is it. Georgia Fort is doing it. And again, she was recently arrested, as according to NBC News. This is something that was directly called out by Attorney General Pam Bondi, who said in a Friday post on X that Lemon and others were arrested alongside 3 others, Taryn Jean Cruz, Georgia Fort, and Jamel Little, in connection with the coordinated attack on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Again, they are calling the protest that went down on that pastor that was a ICE. He's a ICE lieutenant or ICE top brass. He's also a pastor. There was a recent protest. They went into the church, called him out, and now they are deeming that protest an attack. And yeah, these journalists are being charged for being journalists. Is this not the flags of a fascist regime? How does this? I mean, next all I gotta do is kill them, and we're no different than Saudi Arabia, no different. And I mean, you know, do we have to talk about the freeway Ricky Ross of it all? And you know, as far as what it means to be a journalist in this country. Brother Webb, rest in peace,
Bro.
News gang, news gang, news gang, news gang.
We just talked about 2020 Freedom Summer. Things that have been born from that, things that have come from that, changed things, changed directions. We went from the radio station for us to First Sky Omaha, which we are talking regularly here and discussing this. Things have seriously changed with us on that thing. I think about what's come out of Culture House. I think about what's come out of The Reader, even going from a magazine that talked about arts and culture all the time to serious, hard-hitting articles because of the times that we're living in. Georgia Fort is also one of them that was born out of 2020. Watched her trajectory this whole time, out boots to the roots in Minneapolis, building up what she built up. News show on the majors out there, and has been a trusted source for some time. So yeah, this is, you know, we've been saying this is war on news gang. We've been saying it's the most gangster thing in the world to tell the truth and do the news. Close to home on this. I've actually had conversations with her. We've actually been talking about how to connect Omaha and Minneapolis. Yeah, I need to check in with the unicorn cats now.
I mean, it's at this point, check in on your favorite journalists in general, because when you're in a regime dealing with fascism, this is a reality. Rest in peace, Brother Webb, who lost his life trying to expose the Iran-Contra situation. Rest in peace, Jamal Khashoggi. News gang.
Bro, just to get the information out. First year we did this, journalism is activism. It felt like this is what it is. This is what it is. Wanda Lewis says ICE, a new name for martial law.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here so we can go follow the story here.
Yeah, man. Happening now.
Happening now.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Bro, they didn't mess with Georgia Fort.
I mean, who's next?
Well, they've already messed with your camera, buddy. They already made it so we can't see you.
They don't want y'all to see my legalized being black hat. That's what that is.
Ooh,
or my Cornell West sweater.
You're right. Okay.
Blacked out today.
Blackety out. Pay attention to this, please. Any more information that you get on these things, please put in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We're gonna be following the story. This is no words for it yet. Georgia Fort, you news gang. Woo! All right. If you come bail us out, if me and Sherman hop in the car and roll up to Minneapolis tonight,
man. Hey, really though, brother Anthony Rogers, right? Brother Paul, if y'all listening, y'all got some connections. How can we help? It's time, y'all. It's time.
And it is time for us to get up out of here. Appreciate the information. Appreciate you guys coming in at the end of the show to give us the info, breaking news as we go on along here. We got to see what's happening. You ain't lying, Wanda Lewis, boy. I don't know what was gonna happen if it's something like that. If that was the news, and it might be the news, man. It might be the news.
Wouldn't be the first time in America.
Appreciate you guys joining us today. Shout out to our guest, Amanda Kephart, that came through a little earlier. If you missed any parts of that interview, definitely go check that out on YouTube. And please get it in your heads about how important this third space of Film Streams is. Let's go ahead and get a subscription to Film Streams, be a member, and definitely check out some of these films. And let's frequent all the films, and especially in February, that have been specially curated to as black women filmmakers showing movies about love and blackness during Black History Month, February, and have some discussion and talks on these things as well. Lots to do. We have some tickets to give away. We'll do that in our weekly wrap. So sign up for the weekly wrap if you have not done that yet. We will be dropping the weekly wrap today at 4:00 is our drop time for that. So we highly encourage you to sign up to the weekly wrap if you have not done that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in there in case you have not signed up for the weekly wrap yet. Again, today it drops every Friday at 4:00, and so we'll be dropping it today. I'm kind of shook a little bit, man. This you messing with Georgia Ford. I'm not having that. Sherman says arresting her on Friday on felony charges so she can sit in jail throughout the weekend. He says I'll be back soon. I'm almost done with my nephew's death investigation.
Come on, man. Like, how many different ways we got to fight these beasts, man? Like,
it's wild, bro. Wildness.
Like, we can't call it what it is because we're the terrorists, man.
We try to bring a little love, supreme lightness, but we're going to have to get off with this heavy on and heavy on our heads, and it is what it is. This is the world we're living in now, so take care of each other. All we can say is take care of each other, be safe, keep your family safe, keep the network strong so that we can make the calls, get the information, do what we can do. And we'll be trying to follow some stories and update some things on Friends of First Sky Omaha as we go. So in the meantime, between time, please take care of yourselves. Buddy, you got some final words for the people?
Yeah, man. Again, big shout out to our guest, Sister Amanda Kephart, for coming through. Big thank you. Looking forward to what Film Streams has in store for the future. Definitely excited. Echoing what Paul said. Make sure you check out these films. Check out these films. Also, look out for a ticket giveaway on the weekly wrap. I mean, in the meantime, between time, man, please support your journalists. Support those who are trying to give out the real information, man. Just news gang, man. We need it. So appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. Catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B.
Good morning. Yeah, man.
Take it away.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here. Shout out to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Again, thank you very much for you bringing the information to us. We appreciate everything for sure. All the information. Us against the world. I hear you, Wanda Lewis. I hear that. It feels like that in a big way. Definitely sign up for the weekly wrap. Shout out to everybody who's already done that. And man, shout out to Georgia Fort. Man. Minneapolis, boost to the roots, camera on the shoulder, getting the story in pulling stuff down that the mainstreams were not, in the same fashion that we trying to do it. News gang, big way. With that, we're gonna get out of here and see how we can tighten up our life,
man,
and make sure that everything stays the way it needs to stay. Stay tuned. Definitely hit us up on the algorithm. Fight the algorithm newsletter. That means we can contact each other via email, have conversations there. If any of these systems fail, we can at least do that. But it's very important that we all stay in touch and make sure that we keep each other safe and so on. So let's do that. Take care of yourselves over the weekend. Like I say, check in to Friends of First Sky Omaha. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more discussion happening over there when we're not live.
Yeah.
And we will see you on Monday.
Peace.
Stay strong, y'all.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the Red